What if one 5-star recruit could single-handedly catapult UConn back to 8 straight Final Fours, starting with her official visit this week?
Prime Field!
Welcome to Husky's Show. For decades, the University of Connecticut's women's basketball program was not just a team. It was an institution built upon a specific and relentlessly successful blueprint. At the core of this design, etched into the foundation of its many championships, was a lineage of dominant front-court players. Stars like Nafisa Collier set the standard, versatile, intelligent, and physically imposing figures who could control the game from the inside out. They were the engine of the dynasty. But dynasties are not permanent. Time, graduation, and the evolution of the sport itself create inevitable challenges. Recently, that legendary UConn frontcourt has shown signs of a structural gap. The graduation of key players, most notably the defensive stalwart Aaliyah Edwards, left a void that could not be filled by just any recruit. Edwards was a defensive anchor, a physical presence whose impact went far beyond the box score. Her departure challenged the very integrity of Geno Auriemma's blueprint. The program found itself at a crossroads, needing to rebuild not just with talent, but with the right talent. The central dramatic question became clear. In a modern game that increasingly favors the perimeter, could UConn restore its traditional front-court dominance? The answer, it seems, may have been found in a single emerging athlete, Addison Bjorn. Her commitment represents more than just a roster addition. It is a strategic response to a foundational crisis. Addison Bjorn does not fit neatly into the traditional categories of a basketball player. At 6'1", she possesses the height to compete in the paint, yet she moves with a fluidity and handles the ball with a confidence more akin to a guard. It is this rare combination of size, athleticism, and skill that makes her the embodiment of the modern forward Geno Auriemma has long coveted. In his motion offense, which demands constant movement and defensive switching, a player like Bjorn is a matchup nightmare for opponents. She can post up a smaller defender, drive past a slower forward, or initiate a fast break herself after grabbing a rebound. This ability to rebound and immediately push the ball in transition draws direct comparisons to former UConn great Nafisa Collier, who was instrumental in the Huskies' success during her tenure. Collier's style of play was defined by her motor and her versatility, traits that are clearly evident in Bjorn's game. However, Bjorn's arrival also signals a subtle but significant strategic shift. In recent years, UConn's recruiting has often targeted perimeter-oriented specialists, elite shooters brought in to space the floor. While valuable, this trend left a potential deficit in other areas. Bjorn is the counterbalance. Compared to a pure shooter, her defensive versatility is on another level. Her rebounding is superior. Her ability to handle the ball under pressure is more advanced. She doesn't just add to one facet of the game, she elevates several simultaneously. Her commitment represents a deliberate move by Auriemma to refortify the program's core identity, blending the modern need for skill and spacing with the timeless necessity of defense and toughness in the front court. Potential is one thing, production against elite competition is another. The catalyst that transformed Addison Bjorn from a high-level prospect into a targeted solution for UConn was her performance on the international stage. At the 2025 U19 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, she didn't just compete. She made a definitive statement, averaging approximately 12.3 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 1.8 steals per game. She showcased the full spectrum of her abilities. The scoring was efficient, often coming within the flow of the offense or in transition. The rebounding was relentless, establishing a strong presence on both the offensive and defensive glass, a direct answer to the void left by Aaliyah Edwards. But the most telling statistic was the steals, averaging nearly 2 per game. Bjorn demonstrated an elite instinct for disrupting offenses. She showed an uncanny ability to read passing lanes, use her length to deflect passes, and create turnover opportunities that fuel a fast-paced attack. This defensive disruption is a non-negotiable trait for forwards in Auriemma's system. What made these numbers even more significant was her high impact per minute. Despite playing relatively modest minutes compared to some starters, her production was consistently high, indicating a player who makes every moment on the court count. This performance was her proving ground. It was here that media headlines began framing her as the missing piece for UConn, and analysts confirmed that her unique blend of skills made her the perfect candidate to carry the torch of the program's front court legacy. The decision to recruit Addison Bjorn was not based on instinct alone. It was supported by a wealth of analytical data projecting her future impact. According to simulation models, her presence in the UConn lineup is expected to boost overall team efficiency by a significant margin of 15 to 20%. This projected increase is largely attributed to her defensive prowess. Her ability to guard multiple positions, disrupt passing lanes, and secure defensive rebound translates into fewer easy baskets for opponents and more transition chances for the Huskies. In the high-stakes environment of elite college basketball, a defensive upgrade of this magnitude can be the difference between a Final Four appearance and a national championship. The projections become even more compelling when looking at specific lineups. A speculative 2026-27 starting five featuring Bjorn at power forward, alongside a new primary ball handler and perimeter threats like Sarah Strong, yields a staggering projected net rating of plus 18. A net rating measures a team's point differential per 100 possessions, and a figure that high is indicative of a truly dominant championship-caliber team. In this lineup, Bjorn is not just a role player. She's the defensive anchor and rebounding engine that allows the team's offensive players to flourish. She completes the structure, providing the balance that has been a hallmark of UConn's greatest teams. This data suggests her arrival won't just keep UConn competitive. It is calculated to accelerate their return to the very pinnacle of the sport. Addison Bjorn's commitment to UConn is a strategic turning point, a bridge between a storied past and a rapidly evolving future. She is positioned as the missing piece, the player whose versatile two-way impact is designed to solve the program's most pressing challenge. Her arrival is a direct answer to the void left by Aaliyah Edwards, restoring the defensive identity and rebounding strength that has long defined the Huskies. But she is also more than a replacement. Her guard-like skills represent an adaptation to the modern game, ensuring UConn's blueprint does not become a relic. The stakes are immense. In the short term, her integration into the 2026-27 roster is expected to catalyze an immediate return to national title contention. Long-term, her success under Geno Auriemma could redefine the ideal front-court player for the next era of women's basketball, influencing recruiting strategies across the country. It reinforces the idea that true dominance is found not in specializing, but in versatility. By choosing UConn, Addison Bjorn is not simply joining a team. She is accepting the responsibility of carrying a legacy forward. She is the critical component in Geno Auriemma's plan to ensure the UConn dynasty does not just endure, but evolves.
Prime Field.